I am live. How are you all? It's me, Bobbi Rowntree Born Medium, back again. The first time this year, the first time in 2024 that I am doing connections with the other side. Many things have made it so that it happened at the end of the month. January's busy, New Year's Eve, things like that. But also, January marks a few birthdays for me and other sorts of things. And I just couldn't get my poop in a group. Pretty much. That's what it is. Couldn't get my poop in a group. Poops in a group. And in fact, actually, last week, the week we just had, I had something happen that made me feel as though I actually wanted to talk to the Orachellians to see what they thought of what happened, because I know that when I do a live broadcast like this, I'm not the only psychic here. In fact, we're all psychics here, but I'm the only one you're talking to, or I'm the only one you can hear, things like that. But I see, something happened where I'm like, why the devil did that happen? What was the reason behind that? What was I supposed to learn from what happened? So, okie dokie. So I'm gonna say hello to the few people that I am seeing, because I haven't said hello to so many people in so long. It feels like it's been forever. Okie dokie. And there we go. Maxine, I saw your question before I even started. Maxine gave me a question even before we started. So I am going to get to you first, but I'm going to talk a little bit first, if that's okay. I know you've been waiting a while though, but okie dokie. So hello, Maxine. Hello, Kita. Hello, Linda. Hello, Carrie Ann. I hope I'm Carrie Ann. Yeah. Hello, Pat. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Brianne. Hello, Penny. Hello, Linda. Okie dokie. There we go. So right now I've said hello to, I think, everyone who's here who said hello to me. If you're not on there, I'm saying hello to you, even though I'm not quite sure that you were there. Okay. Anyway, so scattered. Yeah, I feel a little scattered. Three things. I just finished my readings for the day, so I'm a little high from that. It's like being in a hot air balloon with only champagne. Two, I have a head cold. And right now, the symptoms of my head cold are being kept at bay, because the neatest thing, when I have a head cold, when I'm sick and I have readings to do that day, as soon as I meditate, boom, all my symptoms are gone. I am no longer like a sick person until I'm finished doing my readings. And then all of a sudden, kaboom. It's kind of like the epidural wearing off, if you know what I mean. Just suddenly, boom, there it is. Holy poop. I wasn't feeling that. Now I am. So I don't know how much time they're going to give me with this thing that I have. We'll notice, because it's like this. Because I kind of think that my head cold has a little bit to do with two things. One, I started having people come into my house again for readings last week. I'm not going to stop that, but I kind of think it's like when school begins in September and you're a mom, and then suddenly for all of September you have a cold because your immune system wasn't used to seeing those things like they were. Does that make sense? So I'm giving people the option. Also, um, so this week, if you follow me on Facebook, you know, or might know, or you may have missed the post. I don't know. Uh, Thank you, Chris. Hello, Caitlin. Um, I was supposed to have dental work done. I was so looking forward to it. I actually put off live streams because part of the dental work is something that bothers me about my smile. And I had a dentist who was going to cosmetically fix that somewhat for me. But I have dental anxiety. I don't, it's the proximity. I don't go get massages either. Which really kind of sucks, because you need Reiki treatments and things. People's energy close to my energy, especially when people don't know about their energy, can be very difficult for me to like. It's claustrophobic, and I maybe I'm claustrophobic, but anywho, so my dentist knew about this and prescribed Ativan. Ativan. I'd never taken Ativan before. And in fact, I don't really take anything that doesn't come out of the ground because of what I do, because I've seen what alcohol can do with it, and it's not good. So anything else I would think would be stronger. And I didn't want to see what that would be like. something I don't partly the pharmacist's instructions misconstrued by me. It's not the pharmacist's fault in any way, shape, or form. What happened was completely and absolutely my responsibility and my fault. But the pharmacist says, take them all. My head told me, take them all. So I took them all. I took 12 Ativan at one time. And when I tell people who take Ativan that I took 12 Ativan at once, they go, what? So maybe I don't know. It knocked me out. I OD'd. I didn't OD, but I could have. I didn't. I I slept. I passed out. I thank God had my husband here because I fell a lot, and I don't even know. I don't even know. Like, why the heck would a thinking, knowing human being take 12 out of them when they know that their dentist said take 3? But I took 12. And I did have an experience. I had a really, really neat experience. And it actually, when I had it, because I have experiences every now and again, when I tell the powers that be that I'm ready to hear something or know something or I want to see something, they will actually kind of bestow it upon me. If it's something I'm ready for, if it's something that will help you guys, if it's something that moves with my mediumship. So I did see some stuff I okay. And I just want to know if any Orachellians are know why I did it. I know that sounds crazy, and I know that sounds weird, but you guys asked me some odd questions too, and I know that in the little group that we're in right now, I'm not the only psychic here. I know that, and you know that, and also it's my assertion that we're all psychic and we all have these abilities. It's just some of us have obvious holes in our head that make those abilities stand out in a blaring kind of way or glaring kind of way, or that my what I'm able to do is something that's a little more public when what other people are able to do. Regardless, I am actually I well, I want to know what you guys think. So I'm putting that out there. And throughout, if you guys hear anything, see anything, know anything, please let me know in the comments. And now I'm going to go to your questions. So here we go. We're going to start with you, Maxine, because you, Maxine wrote her question at 3:07. Which was it's great because I got to see it first and I know we're ready and I hope Maxine is on so she can hear. Maxine is actually talking about her husband who passed of brain cancer. Um, oh, ooh. um, oh wow. Immediately I can feel something in my head immediately. Honestly, I actually think, Maxine, what your husband wants you to know is he can communicate with you. And he has actually been telling you that he is okay, that he misses you already. It's like he's on a vacation and he got to your destination before you were getting there. He's going to keep the seat warm for you. I think what he means by that is it's going to take you some time. Yes, I'm with my family. Where else would I be? He says. He also, uh, uh, yeah, that must be part of the vacation thing. He makes it look like he's in Hawaii. Like there are lays and things like that. Like it's a full on what my brain would call a vacation because as a child, you'd see Fantasy Island, Love Boat, things like that. That was vacations to me. Because when I was a kid, people didn't go to Europe with their family. They went camping, things like that. Or maybe just the people I knew. Maybe I just knew more impoverished folks. But that's the way that he is showing it. Um, okay. Is he happy? That's a great question because it's a loaded one, he says. Uh, he's not happy to be away from you, not happy to be gone, but happy. Oh, this is a weird sentence when you say it the way he want. Happy to know it is not as bad as it was before. something like that. Something that did he was he in pain? Because he's not in pain. He doesn't have a heavy head. His brow doesn't feel like it's hanging down here. But he's not. He can't. I'm not to say that he's happy being without you, because he is without you. But he's happy he can still see you. He's happy he's with them. I don't know if that's his dad that he's with. Um, okay. But he wants you to know he's okay. And you actually might be finding some dimes or some other indication. You might be smelling him, which after 3 months, his smell might still be somewhat in his clothes and things like that. So I could see very easily being able to dismiss that away. But I'm hearing to say, please don't. He also shows me the heart thing. When you walk into a room and you suddenly are taken aback by the sudden grief, the memory of them, that is, they show me usually that they are in the room you just walked into and you don't realize you know it, but you do know it. And then your logical brain gets in there and says, oh, but they're gone and I need to be sad. And ta-da, you become sad about their passing and inconsolable and things like that. And you might even feel it in your chest. So he wants you to know about that. He wants you to know about the heart grab, because that, I don't call it the heart grab. He just called it the heart grab, and it just because it looks like a heart grab. Okie dokie. So I hope that helps, Maxine. I really do. But I can tell you, not happy to be without you, but happy to be okay. Absolutely happy to be okay. Like he's on a guy's vacation. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Kita. Hello. Happy Sunday to you. If it's the right path. Uh-huh. I honestly actually think that what this new job is, Nan shows it coming in like this and then veering off that way. So because you're on that path, it'll get you set for this way. Keep your head up. Know who you are. That's what she wants you to know. And when she says know who you are, she actually goes boop, 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 boop into your heritage a little bit. Okie dokie. She also shows you changing your shoes. And I kind of think she looks as though you're wiping off your foot when you're changing your shoes, and that means you're going to be doing this in a different kind of way. When they show somebody washing their feet, they're kind of telling them to let go of what has been and what the past is and where they have been, walking. This is a similar sort of thing, but I don't know if you're going to be taking on a different sort of role. But it looks like you're changing out of sneakers and putting on professional flats, which, because it's coming from Nan and we older ladies, it used to be that you wore pumps or you wore flats, and that is that. So I kind of think that's what she's showing. She's showing going to, I don't know if you're in a higher position, you're a more authoritarian position or administrative position, but it looks like you go from kind of a younger position to an adult's position. And it will avenues. Keep your eyes and ears open, please. But you won't miss, but you might delay, if that makes sense. Okay. Thanks, Kita. Hello, Linda. Hello, Corianne. I think I've said hello, Amanda. Hi, Brianne. Okie dokie. Linda. Hi from Lake Cowichan. Hello, Lake Cowichan. Lake Cowichan is beautiful. That's a magical place. I used to take my kids to Yubo camping. Oh, what a feeling there. Okie dokie. Do you have any messages for me from Dylan and my mom? Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Now, Dylan shows me himself, and I have spoken to him before, he says, but he's showing himself on a skateboard. That's a old sign for me. That's like right from the beginning when I started doing this. It usually means passed away young and keeping that youth. He's actually showing himself like, I wish I could do it. And you see those kids on the skateboards and they're sailing down hills, their hands by their side, and they're just going like they have some sort of crystallized protection around them as they're going down the street on these boards. That's the way he's looking. His hair is even in the wind a little bit. I believe he's with your mom. That's what I hear. He's with your mom. They're showing themselves. They show this so often on the other side. They show people playing cards. I think it's for several different reasons. One, because it's fun and it's a game. When you're playing a game, you're having a good time. I think also too, it's not really something families do as much as they used to. I think I could be wrong. My family doesn't do it as much as they used to, but playing cards is a great way of communicating and having fun with someone without having to just sit there and stare at them and talk to them. It's a lovely, yeah, it's a lovely fun thing. And it looks like that's what they're doing. They're having a lovely fun time. But he's growing. That's neat. I've never seen it like that. He's showing roots growing out of him. He's showing vines growing off of him. I love that he's showing vines because vines are right now in bulk is what we're going into, which is rebirth, renew, regeneration, and things like ivy are part of that because they grow, 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 and that's the way that he's showing me him grow, 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 grow. So it's part of our task to grow on the other side. It's part of our task to grow here. And then when we cross over, we keep on growing. Growth and movement and learning are all part of what we're supposed to do. So I actually think that's what he's doing. And I don't understand that. Your mom is showing me they will often show me brooches and brooches. It doesn't always have to be a brooch because it is a representation to my mind of something that maybe was cherished, a piece of jewelry, something that is a representation of that person. It's very strange because the way your mom is showing it to me, it reminds me of another client. And I actually even saw a Facebook post before she became a client. She talked about losing a ring, and that ring had the ashes of a loved one in it. And that's where your mother is sending me. Because they will okay. Oftentimes, when I am shown that somebody has lost something, something that means something to them, I will see it in their cars. That doesn't have to mean it's in the car. It's like the car is a representation. I know it's weird, it's strange, but yeah, I am seeing the brooch on the driver's seat of the car, and I don't understand it. I don't have any other kind of reference point for it, but I have to tell you what I see so that I can get new information for one. The brooch looks magical and magical by not like magical in that it is attached to an energy or it creates an energy or it is an energy or something to that effect. So yeah, it looks like your mom left you something. You may have misplaced it and she's showing you it's right there in plain sight. That's what I would take from that. And I hope it makes sense. Okie dokie. Okie dokie, Bran. Career first. Huh. Do you need a change in your career? Is there something that you could do from home, maybe? Like they it might have something to do with your children because I'm seeing you in your home and I'm seeing children all around you. Maybe they're talking about you going into ECE, which is early childhood education, which would be taking care of other people's kids when they're little. But it that doesn't land quite as hard as I would like it to. It would seem possibly more that what they want you to think about is yeah, it's like it's either there's something in your home that you can make into your career or something about your home can assist you in having to do with the kids. So what the heck does that even mean? Okie dokie. When I say what the heck does that even mean, they showed you going poof and moving up to the higher part of your head. Ah, okie dokie. Now, I believe that each and every one of us is psychic. Say it all the damn time. But I also believe that that psychic energy, what we have as psychics, is meant to actually assist us in what we do. And it doesn't actually have to mean that your career is something that is set in your life path, but what you represent and give to all of us, because we are all connected to each other, is part of your life path. So, what if you were to become a lawyer? I would say then you need to learn how you are a psychic lawyer, or you move your psychic energy so you can be the best lawyer you possibly can, because then you will know more. So, that is what I'm seeing with you, Brienne. But I actually wonder, are you doing tarot card readings or angel card readings or something like that? Are you thinking about doing maybe tea leaf? There's something, but it looks like, yeah, that's true. When I choose a modality like that, it doesn't flow, it will flow, but not in the same kind of way as the blip, 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 bloop I get, which comes very naturally to me. That's their key word, naturally. They want you to start moving into what you can do naturally and what kind of comes easy for you. And when I say that to you, honest to goodness, I see your mommy. I do, I do, I do. I see your mommy. And I think you know why I see your mommy, and I think I know why I see your mommy, and I kind of think that maybe you need to step up to the cauldron. I kind of think that was from your grandmother. So, and I believe you know what I mean. All right. I hope that helps, Brienne. And oh, okay. Relationship. Don't sweat the small stuff. You are as frustrated and trapped as you allow yourself to be. Okie dokie. Okay. It's nice to see you too, Chris. Linda, thank you. A thing on my dad about moving. A thing on my dad about moving. Okie dokie. I don't know if you are asking about your dad and about moving. But is your dad supposed to move as well? Because I see boxes around your dad. And if it's your dad that you're talking about moving, familiarity might be a key thing for him. I don't want to kibosh any great plans you might have, but yeah, he might need to stay put. Now, when you with moving, new energy, that's what they say. You might feel stagnated where you are. You might feel like that. And one of the things that they're showing me is I grew up in Kamloops, and Kamloops is an actual hole. When you're in Kamloops, you can see the mountains all around you, hills, mountains around you, and if you're from the prairies, it can feel cozy or it can feel claustrophobic. For me, it was cozy because actually the vastness of the prairies was a bit much. I had nightmares about Winnipeg in the winter. With this, there might be the same thing, but it might be more energetic than geographical. There might be that you're creating something that is pushing out against an energy that is pushing against it. I actually hear clear the energy and allow. That's what I hear. I'm seeing you sweep. I sweep. They show you doing the same thing that I do. I sweep in a circle, round and around and around till I come to the center. And then what I've swept up, I put outside. I do not keep it in my house in the garbage can. I will take it and put it in my garden and make it an offering to the dirt, to the earth. And I get that energy out of the house because they're showing you opening up your door and sweeping the energy out. So and you're an energetic being. I think you're aware of it. I'm dang sure you're aware of it, actually. So is your daughter. That's what I'm supposed to say to you. Hello, Caitlin. Symptoms can be really. Thank you very much, Chris. Yes, yeah, they are. It's you can even really see it in my face because I can see it in my face that. Okie dokie. Oh, what a great question. Anyone from the other side with words of wisdom for me today? Sorry, I laugh because I heard in my head, well, you're going to have to go beyond your dead people. That's what I heard in my head. Because, and I'll say this lots of times, people on the other side, I say it goes the living, the dead, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, and ascended beings. And then, so why I say that is because the living are hampered by their minds. They have limitations in what they believe they can see and what is true. The dead can sometimes, or crossover loved ones can sometimes kind of be the same way. Being on the other side will expand your horizons, yes, because you're out of your corporeal form and you're home and you can see what's true. But at the same time, you still can have the personality, the mind, that sort of thing. So when I get advice from someone on the other side for somebody, I'll always say that this is still that person. So, Joan, that's interesting. They want you to reach higher. They say pray more, and some people pray, some people meditate, some people do both. Prayer to me, yeah, okay, but that's just me. They say prayer to me is a plea, which, okay, I guess, okay, they're putting manifestation in the realm of prayer. They're putting, okie dokie, the powers that be. That is something that's a phrase I use a lot, the powers that be. And when I say that, because, yeah, I see kind of there's a lot. Let's just put it that way. They want you to go higher, Joan. They want you to reach higher with who you're talking to. They want you to reach beyond what you think you know. And it's very much the angels. That's, oh, you can't even see that because of that. I think it's very much the angels or the angelic realm or something, even, yeah, something in and around there. Divine is the word I get. So all the love to your people on the other side. Go a little bit higher, I think, possibly, and that will help them as well as help you. Oh, nerve pain. Okie dokie. Okay, electricity. That's what they're calling it. Like that. And I do have pinched nerves because it sure, you know that, oh, golly sakes kind of pain. I get nerve pain as well. So they're giving me indicators of certain nerve pains I get. But a lot of times when I get them, the little voices inside of my head say, pay attention, because I'll get them. And sometimes let's think of them as somebody that you cannot see is standing behind you and saying, look at that, pay attention to that. Look. And we can see it as pain, but it might actually be information. And I kind of think they want you to see it that way. Now, at that same time, I have to be very careful. They say not to belittle what you're going through. And by calling it information instead of extreme pain is in some ways that kind of belittling. They want you to think of it more of as a transfer of idea, meaning that the nerve pain that you're experiencing might be communications from the other side, and transferring that idea to this might be a communication rather than, oh no, what's happening now, can put you in a position of power when it comes to your discomfort. Now, okay, yeah, that can be difficult in pain. I am personally aware of how that can be difficult in pain, because sometimes when we get into pain, it is very hard to ground and take control of what is going on a little bit within you. So, okay, what they're showing me is with my stomach condition, if I eat bread past anything yummy, I go through ridiculous discomfort. And what I will do, what I used to do, because now I just don't eat that stuff and don't go through that as much as I used to, I will take a spot on the wall very far away from me, maybe the other side of the room, and I'll stare at it. And I will try to put everything I can into that spot. It's almost like I'm trying to push my pain into that point and away from me. And it does give relief. Now, I think I am supposed to tell you about that because I kind of think they really want you to look at this and identify in a different way. And they need to make it more manageable for you, because it's your brain that tells you you're in pain. And your brain's not wrong, but they want you to dupe your brain a little bit and also expand your horizons of what else might be happening to you. Because yeah, I believe psychic energy is in our blood very, very, very much. And I believe very strongly that our bodies will give us indicators and our minds will decide what those indicators are based on what we've seen, based on what other people say. And that's where we can end up going to rather than seeing what our body's telling us and moving forward with the communication they're trying to give. Yeah, and I say that to you tentatively because I know that pain, it's but the victimization of pain, that's the thing that's the difficult thing to stay out of. Because once you start getting into that victim mode, why are they doing this to me? That why me? Why? Then you lose the communication and you just go into the corporeal form. That's how they want me to put it to you. And I hope that that was sensitive enough. Okay, dokie. Okay, Caitlin, you have much to say. Oh, this is funny. For someone who has cash on them, I am rich with dimes. They are everywhere. I know it's a message from someone, but who and why all of a sudden? And are they just everywhere? That is a message. What's the message I should be getting from them? Excellent, excellent question. I find with dimes, the first person that pops in my mind is most usually the person that left it there. I have on, yeah, that's it. It's because with my family and the people on the other side, I designate them coins. I will say, okie dokie, if I find this, I know it's you. And I will say that to them so that I know when it's Auntie Patty, and I know when it's Dad, and I know when it's Auntie Barb, and I know when it's Uncle Brian, and I know when it's Bob. The problem that they're showing is that I have the same coin designated for Uncle Brian and Bob. And sometimes I'll find it and I go, oh, thank you, Uncle Brian. And then I'll see Bob and I'll go, oh, thank you, Bob. Because the preconceived notion and then oh, I see that in my head. Trust yourself. That's what they want me to tell you. Trust yourself. When you find the dime, what comes to mind? What do you feel? Even if you want to, this is a great idea, actually, that they're saying. I carry these around everywhere, but I do this because I'm a writer. Because I'm a writer. And that's what I'm calling myself. I'm an unpublished writer. And I get ideas. And my characters get ideas. And I have to write them down right away. And I actually write different characters in different books. I do, because they're all on different journeys. Now, they're showing you having something like that with you to write down the impressions you get when you find a dime. And you, yeah, having a book with you all the time. Oh, you have your phone. They just showed me your phone. Everybody's got their phones. You could even take a picture and then write something about it on the picture or something like that. But they want me to tell you to trust yourself, that it is information you're getting. And you're getting more now because you're paying attention to them. What we pay attention to, we see more. That's the way it is. So okie dokie. If it's ambiguous and you're like, who is sending me the dimes? Dimes aren't good enough. Send me something else that identifies you. Do that. Put down the gauntlet. Get them to do the work because they're asking you to do the work. Get them to do the work. The more they learn how to communicate with you, the better it is for them on the other side as well. So help them out in this way. And because I actually, when I look at it, it looks like various. It looks like sometimes you get one from, I believe it to be your grandmother. There's a matriarch of some sort. Sometimes you get it from this uncle over here. Sometimes it's actually the other side of your family, meaning your marital side of the family. So when you see it, if it's ambiguous, tell them, don't be so ambiguous. I want to know it's you. I want to say hello. Okay, so that's what they tell me to tell you to do. Also, too, part of the why all of a sudden there's stuff going on. There's things that they want you to pay attention to a little bit. Not worry, but we are lending you strength. We are here with you. This is neat. I actually think that there might be a change of some sort, energy going on with your house. Not energy, but because we're all energy. I'm creating energy right now, for goodness sakes. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Ah, okie dokie. Darian, correct? Okie dokie. Ah, my father in spirit. That's funny. Okay. I immediately see the symbol for father used to be my dad's hat on a table. And I immediately saw my dad's hat on a table. And then I see the word research. So I think that I think your dad knew you were going to ask about him today. And then he did a little research on how to present as a dad to me. And I think he's using my dad's stuff because my dad's on the other side. And I'm looking at a picture of him right now. He's always right here with the live feeds. I have a picture of him and I have a picture of Auntie Patty. And it feels like they're with me when not just because I have the pictures there. The pictures are just kind of reminders that they're with me and what I'm here to do. And I kind of think that your dad is capitalizing on that idea within me and that he is okie dokie. Yeah, and I wonder, was he like my dad? My dad was an atheist when he went over, so he really did not really know what to do or how to communicate, and he was quite dumbfounded by the fact that there was another side and God and things like that, because he and I had discussions about it before he left. So, and he passed when I was 16. Um, but there might be something like that with your dad where he's learning how to be what he's supposed to be on the other side because he may have been ignorant of it before he left. And the word ignorant is just meant to unknowing or without the knowledge of, not because when a person's we misuse the word ignorant when someone's being ignorant, they're being a jerk. But that's not what that's not what I'm supposed to say. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I actually think he does something in your ears. I don't know if it's a or but there's something that feels like that band thing around here that they're showing. I don't know if I don't think it's head. I think it's sound. I think it's sound. I think he blocks out other sounds like when that underwater feeling that yeah, and I've had a lot of people, I've heard mediums describe talking to people on the other side like talking to someone underwater. I don't experience it that way. I kind of experience it like they're yelling across the room. But that doesn't mean that that would invalidate mediums who hear it like it's underwater. We all hear differently, and getting to know yourself will help you to understand how you hear, and then it will help you to better understand when you're being spoken to. So I kind of think that, and honestly, your father's not pushing that because it doesn't seem like that's part of his personality. That is something that is going from above him a little bit in that, because because a reconnection needs to be made. A reconnection needs to be made, and almost like a reconnection and then a rebirth of a new sort of relationship, but the same relationship, which that makes sense to me because I feel my relationship with my father very differently now because I'm older than him now. There's that. I am a decade older than he was when he crossed over, and I know more. But well, I know more than the man who left. I don't know more than the spirit. So uh, my work though helps my dad, and it helps us to continue this. And I believe it helps him on the other side. I absolutely believe it helps him on the other side. So you might want to meditate if you don't meditate already, or admit, or I see a Bible in your hands. So I don't know if you have a faith that you might want to move into in this kind of way, because every belief system, in my opinion, is valid because the belief system is germane to your mind and the way having faith, knowing that there's something bigger than you. That's all. Okay, okay. I hope that made sense. And I'm supposed to say I love you, son. I'm supposed to say be patient with me. Okie dokie. Okay, Amanda. I'm unsure how to even explain this. I fall asleep and wake up seamlessly, but I don't even realize I'm dreaming until I notice something is off. Then I have woke from one very, really, real, vivid dream to another. Okay, yeah. And it boggles my brain. If there's any explanation for this, it's only been the last 6 months or so, as well as dead people telling me they are alive when they are not. One being passed for 10 years, but he wasn't allowed to explain why he was alive. He's very, very dead. Okay. Okay, dokie. And I took it off because there's a lot and you can't see my face. So, Amanda, that's neat. I have those dreams too, where I've had dreams where I have, yes, seamlessly woken up and gone, oh, I want to go back. I want to go back. I want to go back. Because it's not even, it's like the dream is like a daydream or a thought in my head. Like I'm consciously part of it. And those are almost always 98%, and in fact, probably 100% dreams where I am being shown something I need to know, or I am being led towards a knowing or a knowledge or a new expansion of my brain that my mind would not take in the same kind of way. That in my waking hours, if they presented me with these ideas or these things, I would be like, what? Like when you say, hey, you're dead. And they're telling you, no, they're not, they're alive, is because there is no death. We're just transitioned. When I call the dead, I'm really using an incorrect terminology. I should say the transitioned or the butterflies or the moths, because that's what it is. You're going from one form to a more free form. That's what death is. And you know that, Amanda, you know that very well. It could be very much, young lady. I actually think you've been taken over to the other side. I think that what they're trying to show you is it looks like school. It looks like they're trying to actually school you in some sort of way. So what I would do is in my waking hours, write down okay, this is not what I would do. This is what they want me to tell you to do. They want you to write down the bullet points, the little pieces that you're actually retaining out of these things, like what you think, the impressions you get. Impressions is a very important word there because it's like how it made you feel, what it struck up inside of you and what you think it means, because it's like looking at artwork. That's the way they want you to think of it. Okie dokie, because it's a pattern and it's a picture. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It makes sense with what I saw last week when I had my little stupidity time, where yeah, I sent my brain to a different place. And it was a similar thing to, I think, what you, because I thought I was awake. I didn't think I was dreaming. I thought I was experiencing things, but it's not like a hallucination in any way, shape, or form. You know, you're in your head. You don't know that you don't think it's the full corporeal form, but you just know. So they want you to move into it more and make a little demand. Say, okay, if you guys are going to show this to me, there's got to be something that I'm supposed to do with it. So help me to unpack it. Help me to make it true for me. That's what they want you to do for you, because I think it's time, and I think there's some other stuff that they want you to get. Are you in a transition time in your life as well? Are the kids getting a little bit older, or there's something that else is changing? Because I think it's a little bit time for you. That's how they want me to put it. Time for you. They're actually even showing, because I've been like this since birth. But it wasn't until I was 27, 28 that I actually admitted to what I was. Thank you, Kristen Jacqueline. Or even started to move into what I could do in a positive, I've got power here fashion. Before it was like, because I had no control, because I didn't know what it was, because I didn't know myself. So the things that were allowed to come in to bug me weren't things I was inviting. They were things that were there. So that's what I think they want you to look at, Amanda. I think you've gotten rid of the things that are there. I think that you're receiving from a higher place, but you have to meet you. You have to climb up the stairs, and climbing up the stairs will be meditation, yoga, spending time with yourself. They show you doing something little. I don't know if you do a craft or beading or something like that. That might be your form of meditation, or it might help you to bring out what you need. Like when people make malas as part of their meditation. So there's something, yeah, there's something like that with you, and I hope that helps. Okay, Pat. I really want to know what my guides are trying to tell me or to do or whatever, because obviously I'm missing the clues. Honestly, Pat, first thing I heard was, oh, no, you're not. Sorry, I heard, oh, no, you're not. You're just a slow learner, Mom. We both know who that was from. Pat has one of the strongest spirit sons that I talk to. He's awesome. And he came through immediately when she asked that question. I don't think you're missing things. I think you're actually, yeah, I think you might be going at a snail's pace. That's what they say, snail's pace. Because they want you to think of it this way. Uh, think of it this way. You'll get it because you've given birth. When I gave birth to my first child, I was lamenting the weight, and my sister said, "It took you 9 months to gain that weight. It's going to take you 18 to get rid of it." So, because it was going to take me 18 to get rid of it, because the gain had to do with something that was outside of me, and now it was my job to regulate myself again and to find my way. It's a really kind of a neat way that they did that to you a little bit, Pat. Because I know. I think I know you a little bit well enough to know that you come to spirituality out of necessity. Something happened, and you are now here with us. And you're learning and you're growing and you're doing all those wonderful things, but it might not have been the path that you were going to go on in that kind of way if this didn't happen. So give yourself a little bit of a break, take it slow, and do what you feel compelled to do. That is, I'm actually seeing you in my yard. I have yoga platforms in my yard, and I have a meditation platform in my yard. And I'm not going to say, "Hey, everybody come sit in my yard," because that would be a little strange to constantly see people in my yard. But might freak my dogs out too. But my husband for sure. The space that I've created back there is a serene, there's a lot I've done to create a dome of spiritual energy back there. And they show you sitting in that yard, Pat. And it could be that maybe you need to ensconce yourself into a spiritual space so that you could, yeah, it's like when people go on spiritual retreats, like the one that I don't know if they still do it in Merritt. They used to do it 20 years ago. It was a silent retreat. You didn't talk for like 14 days, and it was just introspection. It's something like that. I know. That sounds like, what? Don't talk for 14 days? Oh my goodness. Do what feels right to you. But I kind of think you're ready because it's bubble bursting for you. It's like, we can't just slowly meander into it. It's got to go bang, bang, bang. And you're ready for a new bang. So I hope that makes sense. Also, you can, yeah, you know where I live. I am more than happy to let you sit on a yoga platform and meditate. Absolutely. Okie dokie. I hope that helps, Pat. Huh. Hey, hon, anything for me by chance? I love that, Dawn. I really do. Okie dokie. Huh. I actually get, it's funny. First they said career, and then they showed you actually opening up a mailbox and getting a letter out of it. So it might be actually, because it used to be when I would see mail, it would be a message from somebody for someone particular. That's how it used to be. But I'm seeing postal stuff lately, and I haven't, because what happened is they will change the way they show stuff to me and expect me to catch up. They do expect me to catch up. So I will see something and I'll be like, what the heck does that mean? And then after about 2 or 3 times, it honestly can sometimes take 2 or 3 readings for me to completely pick up what something means. But I don't know if it was 2 days ago, a day ago, something, but somebody had something having to do with postal as well. And I kind of thought it was messaging, and I wasn't entirely sure, but I think it's something somewhat like that as well. That it has to do with pay attention to what you're seeing. Pay attention to actually the little messages you're getting. And I do believe very much this has to do with your career, and your finances and the way you make your money. And honestly, career and finances are somewhat separated because money is energy. And if you want some, just don't be so afraid of it all the time. That's, yeah, I have to tell myself that all the flipping time. All the time. Yeah. Remember. But there's something having to do with messaging, unless you're actually a postal worker. then that would make all the sense in the world. But you're opening the box and receiving the message. So I believe what they're trying to tell you is they've been talking to you and you're not paying attention. Now, if you don't know how to receive the messages, what does that do for you? That doesn't help you whatsoever. I gotta think that's what's going on right now. That doesn't help you. That just actually makes more ambiguity and a few more questions. So I actually think you're clairvoyant because they show you sniffing up your nose. A clairvoyant will see a picture in their head. A clairsentient will have a feeling. A clairaudient will hear something. So we all have all of them. There's just I think I call them the primaries. You're the one that's in front because I'm clairvoyant first, and then I hear it, and then I feel it, and then I believe, and then I know it. Claircognizant. So they want you to move into what you call, I think, your imagination or your visuals or something like that. You might think that they're fanciful or you might think they're crazy or something, but they want you to move into them as though they are real and then make them actualities. And then that might be how you manifest, and you might be really darn good at it as well. So I hope that helps. Hello, Verna. Happy New Year to you too. And Parkinson, is he struggling lately? Okie dokie. I'm sorry to say it, Verna, but the first thing I hear is very much so. It's almost like, yeah, it's like he's in a rushing river and he's trying to walk forward and trying to get to something he doesn't even need to get to instead of actually flowing with the river. Okie dokie. I think you still care about him. I think that he is still. You might have children together. He might, because sometimes marriages break up. I still care about my ex-husband. I don't think he cares about me, but I still care about him. So it would bother me too. The way that they show it, I don't know if you've ever done a releasing or a cord cutting or something like that. They are showing you picturing him and not actually knocking things off of him, but helping to release stuff. Because dementia, I often refer to dementia as 1 foot here, 1 foot there. 1 foot on earth, 1 foot on the other side. People with dementia are usually shown to me as people who are suddenly like me. And if you have gone 80 years being not like that, and then boom, you're like that, it would it would be a lot, and it would be very, 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 very difficult to know what is real and what isn't real. With your ex-husband, there's a lot of nervous system stuff they're saying, and a lot of misinformation and misfirings and things like that. Like the way that it's like they're showing a tree, and they're showing when a tree can break, and then all of a sudden it goes off and it becomes like a tree sideways. That's kind of what they're showing happening with ideas and things like that in his head. So they want you to picture him differently. They want you to picture him releasing and letting go. They want you to, because it would be an end to his suffering. That is why releasing him and letting him go. And I believe his mom wants him because it must be very, very, very difficult to watch from the other side, because they do visit the other side, and that's why they get confused as to who's dead, who's alive, things like that, because the veils are so thin. So, I don't know that he was emotionally ready for such a thing. Let me put it that way. Okay. Was it Elvis who sang that one? Please release me, let me go. What song is that? I'm hearing that in my head. Please release me, let me go. So I'm sorry, Verna. But at the same time, I'm not entirely, because you lost him already, didn't you? Sorry. Okay. I hope that helps. Okie dokie. Okay. Wondering if anyone on the other side has tips for my busy summer coming up. Okay, it looks like scheduling, or slotting. Also, take care of you. Are you the last person on your list, Chris? You're female. Not to be sexist, but we ladies tend to put ourselves 10th on the list. Um, I honestly believe it's because we believe that's what we're supposed to do to be good ladies and to be good women, that we're supposed to take care of everybody else before us, and that proves our worth. I'm not saying that that's how you feel, Chris, but it's kind of a latent energy in us. And they're kind of showing it as a latent energy a little bit in you. They also, where are your summer camps? Because they look spiritually charged. Busy summer coming up. Okay, camps. I had camps in my head. Why did I have camps in my head? Wherever you're going to be, they want you to move into where you are. What a weird sentence. Wherever they tell me wherever spirit takes you, wherever spirit moves you, they want you to move into it. I see you meditating more. And you're talking about having a busy summer, and what they're showing is you taking more time out for you. So it might be that, yeah, it might be that it happens anyway. That's what I just heard in my head. Because sometimes we can uh schedule ourselves for things thinking that's what we're supposed to do, and the universe is like, yeah, I don't want you to do that, and they'll put a spanner in that wrench or some sort of something to set you onto a different path, and we can think, oh, I gotta fix this, blah, 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 but maybe it was supposed to be that way. So if your summer isn't as busy as you think it is, it's actually because they want you to take more time for you. So please take more time for you going in. And even, did your summer start in March? Maybe it's May, but yeah. And when I get month stuff, it's always I'm about it because that's such a human thing. Okie dokie. But the best thing for you to do, that's what they say, is scheduling, 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 scheduling. Make it all organized. And what is that word? Oh yeah, that's the one I never do. Delegate. Doesn't all have to be you. Sometimes you have to be the puppeteer. So I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Amber. Okay. Whew. We've been an hour. Okay. If someone has a message for me, Amber. Huh. Okie dokie. I first saw a hat and I thought, oh, maybe it's her dad. And then you changed your hat 3 or 4 times. So you wear many hats. People who wear many hats do all different things for other people and things like that. Sometimes it's that they have 3 or 4 different jobs that they do, or some moms wear a chef hat. They wear sorry, I'm being sexist again. Parents wear a chef's hat, a chauffeur's hat, a ball cap because they're the coach, things like that. They just showed me a scholar's hat. So you might be a smarty pants, Amber. Okay, you wear different hats. Okay. So then the next thing I see, yeah. The next thing I see looks like you sitting in a cross-legged position, and then I see something centered on your lower back. I see that with people a lot, and I've even had clients where I've said, "Is there something going on with your lower back?" And they're like, "You say that to me every damn time," and there's nothing going on with my lower back. So it's not physical; it's something else. I kind of think it's the same sort of way with you. Okay, they're actually even giving me the words latent energy. When somebody starts themselves off somewhat on the path that they're on, roots themselves, feels really strong within themselves, sometimes actually not pulling the energy up or seeing it as energy going up to your crown chakra, it can get stuck in your sacral chakra and your pelvis. That's where I see it. And I think it can get stuck here too, in your chest, in your power chakra, because people don't realize to move through. In fact, actually, I moved some energy through my chest yesterday in my salt tub. And immediately when I tried to push it, because I visualize things just going up, my third eye went woof. So it was energy I needed to move through that I hadn't moved through. We all do it because, and if you're receiving energy, you got to move the energy. And I actually somewhat think that your job gives you an energy of some sort, because even if we don't realize we're working with energy, we are. Like if you're a social worker, let's say, and you're dealing with folks and the troubles and things like that that they're having, I would say that social workers deal with a lot of psychics that don't realize how psychic they are. Then that energy would be part of what the social worker is dealing with afterwards if they don't move that through. It's an actual thing. It's not just a psychic sort of thing. So if you're actually not feeling this as a physical thing, which part of me thinks that you are and that it's going around, then you might be seeing this as a physical thing. It might actually be physical, or doing supine twist. It's a yoga pose, SUPINE twist. They show that helping. I know for myself, when my tailbone was broken by them, supine twist was a godsend. It was so lovely. It twisted the stuff out of my back and allowed things to move through. I didn't know at the time that that's what it was doing. I thought it was just relieving the pain. Now I know what it was doing. So you can look at it relieving the pain. You can look at it moving the energy through. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Hello, Carrie Ann. I am with it. I thank you for hearing about me. I don't know. Okie dokie. Okay. With the postal worker thing, what is the thing today? It's just crazy. Instead of actually receiving a message, they're showing you actually sending things in the mailbox to people. That's the first thing I see. The second thing I see is actually walking. So do you do walking meditations? Is that how you convene with spirit? Is that how you move yourself through? That's actually what I hear, move yourself through, because we all do it in different ways. You might be a doer meditator. Like, because I'm seeing knitting as well. I see that as a form of meditation. Knitting, I do macrame myself because I've not been taught knitting yet. And macrame, it's nuts. I got fingers. And I do it for the movement of my fingers to keep the blood moving in my hands. But that blood moving in my hands is also because I receive a lot of energy into my chest, and it's got to move through and out of me. And there's something like that with you, but there's also a stepping up to the plate that needs to be done. And I think the stepping up to the plate might be admitting to some certain things, or moving your ideas about yourself or what you can do to a higher level. And I don't know why. I don't actually know if you walk. Well, obviously, I don't know. I don't know you. If you walk with a dog, but when I see you walking, I can see a dog. So if you don't actually walk with a dog, then oh my goodness gracious, I actually just heard then your spirit animal is walking with you. I don't know if I've ever met anyone who's got a dog for a spirit animal. I don't really do that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many spirit animals I've actually even seen. But it could even be that you have a dog that's on the other side. And when you walk, your dog walks with you. It could very well be that. But okie dokie. Yeah. And when they say step it up a little bit, they show you on a mountain. So it might be increase your walking or whatever it is, that because it might even not be that you're walking. The walking might just be symbolic of you convening and figuring out your way of meditating and knowing your guides and knowing the people around you and knowing you. It might just be that. And I am, because I don't have you here, I have to go with the things that I see and then interpret those. So I have to tell you everything that I see. So I hope that makes sense. And I don't know if you're married, but I heard the word husband. Uh, I don't know if you need to manifest for your husband or manifest a husband. I did that. It's doable. Yeah. Because if a person's meant to come into your life, all that you're doing is just bringing them a little bit quicker forward. Okay, I really hope that yeah, ambiguous for me. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I might mispronounce this word. How to come to closure from my, is it Guido? Step? Good. I don't want to mispronounce it. I don't want to, yeah. I didn't get to say goodbye or have closure. My brother's death at 33. I wish I could have saved him. Okay. Yeah. How to come to terms with unknown loved ones who've passed. Okie dokie. Okay. So those feel like four different questions. They really do feel like four different questions because they're telling me that they're almost like four different questions. Um, mm, First off, the coming to closure. They are. It's interesting, but they're showing you doing an indigenous tradition where where food is burnt for as an offering for those on the other side, or clothing. But they even show me the candle that Catholics do. So I kind of think a blessing to him. Something where you can go, okay, you're there, I'm here. It's like if he was Why Beirut? If he was away in a country where you didn't know what the country was like, but you wanted him to feel fed, you wanted him to feel safe, and you wanted him to feel happy, you would send him things, possibly a care package. That's what this is like, because you can't really send a material care package to the other side, but you can send an energetic care package to the other side. So burning the food will make sure that he is fed, and burning the clothes will make sure that he is warm. Lighting the candle will make sure that you are shining the light for him, for the powers that be. I didn't get to say goodbye or have closure. Okay, as soon as I say that, boom, I hear, oh, yes, you did. You just didn't know you did. I kind of think he came to you. I think he came to you on his way out. And you may have been sleeping, or in the middle of coming out of sleep or going into sleep, and he may have crossed your mind. He may have waved to you, something like that. He's even showing me the night before I lost my dad, I had a very similar sort of dream. I do not know why it became so. Whew, yeah, it's because of the last thing I saw. Yeah, he waved. And that's what I'm seeing. So there's something like that where it felt really sad, but it wasn't really sad. It was his way of saying, I'm good, I'm fine, and see you later. That's what it was. And I think that Guido may have done that for you. Your brother's death at 33, I hear you could not have saved him, that it was imminent, that there was, and it looks as though something, it was either part of his pattern or his behavior led to it, and he needed to have it in that way. And it's a transitioning. I'm supposed to call it a transitioning for you. And when you cross over, he will have been there a really long time, and he's coming to get you. I'm supposed to say it like that. Our siblings come and bring us over. They will come and help us through the door to everyone else. They'll even pass us to our spouses, because DNA means a lot and our blood means a lot, and you share more DNA with a sibling than you do with somebody else. And if you don't have a sibling, it's the next person on the DNA line for you. So he says he's going to come and get you, and it's quite beautiful, because he shows himself picking you up, like this, the bride sort of pickup, like crossing the threshold. That's what he shows. It looks very loving and very sweet. He's going to do for you what you could not do for him, but not because it was not within your power. It's because he would not let you. Okay. Sarah. Oh, keep on trucking. That's what I'm supposed to tell you, Sarah. And get loud. They want you splashed across things. Okie dokie. I don't know where your work is displayed, or if it is even displayed, but it should be. And interesting. I am actually seeing the Head Injury Society. So there might be something, because your work is extraordinary. And I think it has a lot to do with what you have been through and what has happened. And that is, you're not alone, and your story needs to be told. That is something they want you to do. And actually, maybe, Sarah, that we should talk, because they are showing me that quite possibly we need to display your work even more. And actually, please feel free and welcome to put Slack art on my page. If that's not something, if I have it so that you can't do that, let me know and I'll share. Okay, because you need to get out there a little more, because people need to know what you've been through and how you come through it and what you are now able to do. Also, Artemis, the goddess of the hunt. Okie dokie. I think you feel a special kinship or a channeling feeling. I'm supposed to validate that for you. And I know that sounds kooky, but here we are in kooky time. Keep going, though. Please don't lose heart. Algorithms poop like that. Don't even worry about it. It's going to get to where it needs to go. And sometimes it can take a little time because of you. Because success can actually hurt sometimes. If you're not ready for it, Justin Bieber, poor child. Uh, so please know when you're ready, they'll be ready, it'll be ready. Okay. And do it. I don't know if you've been asked to do a series of some sort, but they say do it. Uh, and I see so much of that. Okie dokie. All right. Ah, Ativan. Yes. Okay. I did. Well, I don't know if it was surprising as much. Well, okay. I'll tell you what I saw. I saw a golden grid within the clouds, and I was standing on the golden grid within the clouds, and I was talking to somebody bigger, so big I couldn't see him, so huge. Like I was an ant, and they were a human being, and I was having a discussion. And okay, I don't know if I was having a discussion as much as I was being told, or yeah. And it could even have been because I may have brought myself close to death because there were 12 of them that I put in my body. And they may have been telling me, hey, back away. You're no belong here, because they will do that when you don't belong there at the time. Um, and honestly, I actually hear it, keep pushing and we'll let you in. That's actually what I just heard. So, um, yeah, why though? What a dummy, eh? Okie dokie. Okay. Uh, now, Don, oh, okay. Yes, Don, okay. Now I'm just going to try to go to the next person who I haven't talked to before. Hello, Bonnie. And thank you, Bonnie. Bonnie is the reason I'm live. Because Bonnie asked in a comment on my Facebook when I was going to go live again and put the foot up my butt, that because I go live for you guys. I don't go live for me. Because I could be watching Prime Suspect right now. No, I'm just kidding. But I go live for you guys because I do. Because I love y'all. Okay, okay. I would love to see if my mother-in-law can give us a name or initials of my husband's biological dad. Ooh, good question. We've been dealing with DNA and are so close. Oh, yeah, like so incredibly close. Um, ah, okay. So because it is something that is so specific, I'm second guessing myself. Yeah, I'm totally second guessing myself. But the thing I hear really loudly is GNR. GNR is Guns N' Roses to me. But because that's how you don't, if you're from the 80s, you might not say Guns N' Roses. You might say GNR. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm hearing. But I kind of hear it like it's 3 letters rather than 2 letters. Like I'm trying to think of an actor who has 3 names and I can't think of one. And all I can think of is the one who OD'd, that poor fella. Such a good actor. Charles Hayden Bradley, or Charles Hayden Church. Charles Hayden Church, is that it? Anywho, that's the way I'm hearing it. Like it's boom, boom, boom. And it could be that his biological father has a hyphenated name, or yeah, but that's a really, really old thing. Back in the olden days, very olden days, people were given their middle name was their mother's maiden name. And that's what it kind of looks like, which is kind of the same as a hyphenated name, but it could be that the middle name is something that is usually traditionally or familiarly, that's not a word. Um, it can be a last name, or we can see it as a last name. There's something like that. Um, okay, if I'm going to go with exact initials, I wouldn't say G, I'd say J. And because I saw G and J, I wonder if the name's Jerry or one of those names that you could spell it with a G or you could spell it with a J, and it's still the same name. That there's something like that. I don't know for certain if that is a overseen idea of the fact that the name is something, like if it was, yeah, if the name is something that could be misspelt because of the sound at the beginning of it, it could just be that. rather than it's a G or a J. But it could very well, yeah. Yeah, I would JNR, but I don't know absolutely. So, and I never know anything absolutely in this way because I don't entirely trust myself to be exactly right. That's true because it depends on how well I hear what they're saying. And because they don't do exactly rights very often. They do impressions and feelings and ideas more than they do, this is it. But sometimes I will hear, this is it. The first thing I heard was GNR. So I'm going to go with that. Might be JNR. And I don't even know if that's completely outlandish and off the mark. But I hope you will let me know if I am. All right. Thank you very much, Bonnie. I hope that helped. Jerry! From my, yeah, I was, you know, what's funny, Jerry, is I didn't finish reading your sentence, but what I heard in my head was anything important from my man. That's what I heard. I love you. That's one of them. You are working with him. He is working with you. You are working with him. He wants you to keep going. He actually shows you standing at a cauldron. So, unless you actually have, and I envy you, if you have one of those big, like you see on TV or the front of one of my books or something, that kind of cauldron, because oh my goodness, would I love one of those with fire underneath. I have a tiny one. Oh, I thought it was right here. It's not right here. It's like this big. I think I've taken pictures of it for you guys. Anywho, he's showing you in front of the big cauldron. To me, that is your spell casting or manifesting or creating magic or moving things through. He's trying to help you from that end, and you're doing it from this end. When I see him, he shifts. And I'm going to say it as shifts because I see wolfman, wolfman, wolfman. He's not a wolfman, but it might be that his spirit animal is part of this with you, or it might be that him shifting into that animal is creating this, because when I see the wolf, and that's a weird thing, I put this statue right where she could be looking at me today. And I kind of think it was because of you, Jerry, because she's got the wolf. So the wolf to me represents family, represents belonging, and knowing you as I do, which is very much here. I see you as somebody who really cares about their family or community, and not just your immediate family. All the people, not just all the people that look like you, because that's what I was about to say, but all the people that you see. It's cultural, but it's not entirely just, because I think you see past and true in a universal sort of way. Um, and yeah, that each culture is here to teach us something. And okie dokie. Okay. He says, keep going with what you can do. I don't know what that means. He's showing your hand and he's going to almost looks like you're creating a pentagram on your hand, but I don't think it's a pentagram. I think he's moving towards the magical side of things, possibly to get me to the idea, or maybe he actually means the magical side of things. Maybe he actually means that you are doing magic, because manifestation is magic. I've got a money altar over there. I consider it magical. And I say thank you to it and light candles and things like that. So, okie dokie. You might want to use your voice more. You might want to call in spirits more. You might want to find that power within you. No. Not find that power within you. Express that power within you. Yeah. And your community needs to know, woman. I'm supposed to tell you that. Open your doors. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I actually even think there might be a glut in your community where you are needed. And you might be going, no, not me. No, not me. So, sorry. Yeah, it does. He said, it looks like peekaboo. That's what he says. Okie dokie. And I love you. And I don't know if you're having, this is so personal. This is so, but yeah, I think that the two of you are communicating in a physical way as well. That makes sense. Maybe when you're sleeping, maybe when you're not. But yeah, I was supposed to mention that. Okay. All right. Pat and the Ativan. I took 2 Ativan in preparation for MRI. that was canceled on the bed, as has to be done in Vancouver, and I was staggering, and I'm a lot bigger than you. I can't imagine 12. That must have been the scariest feeling in the world. Okie dokie. Yeah, I saw a golden grid. I saw the clouds. Uh, I saw a lot actually that I don't entirely completely remember. And ever since then, I've had a lot more visitors than I usually do. A lot more. And they are coming in a different kind of way than they usually do. Usually, like say when very often if yeah, okay, say when my dad comes to visit me, it's like a latent picture in the back of my mind. Sometimes it'll be right there, but it's mostly in the latent picture in the back of my mind. When he's right there, he really needs to talk to me, and he's doing a lot, and the people I'm seeing are right there. Right there. There was even a guy yesterday when I got out of my tub. I said, "What are you doing here? Who are you?" My goodness. He looked a lot like Elvis, but I don't think it was Elvis. I don't know about that channeling famous people unless you have somebody they love with them, because, yeah. But they do tend to become public property. So yeah, but he had that pompadour thing that Elvis did. So any of my neighbors who have someone who's passed over who has a pompadour, they were in my house last night. So yeah, that's what I saw. And yeah, 12. Can you believe it? It's like I should have. Like, I'm not big. I'm not big, and I don't have an eating disorder. That's actually what my brain just said. I have an eating difficulty, so I can't eat very much. So I don't know how much I weigh. I have no idea how much I weigh. I don't know the scale because I think that they mess with your brain. But I'm pretty little. So yeah, it's very, very, very strange that I'm alive. It's thank God. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I want to say your name correctly. Ify. I hope that I'm saying your name correctly. I'm hearing actually that you're a very powerful being. Um, you don't know what you do. That's what they're saying. You can change the energy of a room. You are like I'm seeing the Tasmanian devil, but I'm not supposed to call you like the Tasmanian devil. First off, because of the word devil. Also, because when the Tasmanian, that's what he would do. That's not you, but the energy, the wave, you create that, they're saying. I don't know that you know. They say harness you. In okie dokie, then they're showing me a hot air balloon. I actually described myself as a hot air balloon when we first got on. And the hot air balloon to me is kind of like when I am not grounded and I'm just sailing around and I don't quite know what the messages are, what this is, what that is. That's what they're showing. Are you a social worker? Because you might not be. I asked somebody, was it today or yesterday? I asked somebody recently if they were a social worker and they weren't. And I'm like, you got social work energy. That's what they were telling me. So it's a similar thing with you. And because a social worker is a person who is here to help other people just out of they're helping other people. That's the goal. That's the thing. That's what they're doing. So I kind of think you might be here to help other people. I kind of think you might be here to help show people the way. And you might already do it in your personal job. You might be an administrative assistant or something like that. Like you're the go-between. You show people where to go or what to do. But I kind of think they want you to step it up a little bit for you and admit something to yourself. There's also, I think, a cake. With the cake, it could be that you have a gift and I'm supposed to tell you have a gift, but it could also be it's your birthday or a birthday is coming up that they want to mark. There's something like that. I am hot flashing, so that's why I'm fanning, because I haven't hot flashed in a little bit, but that's why I have my fans. It's because of my hot flashes. Okie dokie. So I hope that makes sense. And I would love it if you could phonetically write out your name for me so I would know how to say that. Okie dokie. And is it a short form for something or is that your full name? That's really neat. I love neat names because I love you, Mom, but I'm not big on my name because it seems like an action rather than a name. I'm Bobbi. And I am like that, actually. So you're very, very welcome, Maxine. I get so many weeks with the kids. I've been feeling that I need to change it up and that we get only so many weeks with the kids. Okay, yeah, that makes some sense. I actually, yeah. I think there's tarot or angel cards or something too, and I don't think that's the first time I've said that to you, young lady. Yeah, bite the bullet. Okay. Ah, okay. First thing I hear, Pamela, and not to blow smoke up your fanny, but it's from Land Before Time. Yep, yep, yep. That's what I hear. Yep, yep, yep. And don't be afraid to make some demands for you. Don't be afraid to make some demands for you. The wearing off period is good. And you have him on the other side, on your side, and he's wrangling her for you. Just so you know, because it's about time both of you were happy. Yeah, he needs to hear that too, I think. Okie dokie. So I hope that makes sense. Is my mom going to be well enough to come visit us? Do I need to be on metformin? And should I go off or off of it? Okie dokie. Okay. I'm not sure what metformin is, but I kind of think it's something that's suppressing something or shrinking a swelling or something like that, because that's what they're showing. It's an outside influence. It's almost like, yeah, but okay, okay, not yet, but pretty soon. And I think you need to in some sort of way, or you can feel that, because it might be constricting things as well as unswelling things. How can it do both of those things? That seems kind of crazy. Um, uh, I don't know what metformin is, but is it a metabolism thing or a swelling shrinking thing? Because it looks like it's doing both things, but there's something with your brain having to do with it. So I don't know if it makes you feel a little bit more foggy, confused, or unsettled in some sort of way, but yeah, but at the same time, okie dokie, don't worry so much about it, because it almost looks like it is, when you get a small influx of money that will help you to build more money rather than it is the money. I know that was a little bit odd, but I hope that makes sense, because yeah, it's like the principal that's going to gain interest. So the principal just gets put in there and then it takes off on its own, if that makes sense. Your mom being well enough to visit you. Okay. Honestly, what I heard was probably not, but maybe. Um, and I is she so far away that you cannot bring the baby to her? Uh, because I think that might be the reasoning, and that 10 fingers, 10 toes. Uh, right now, FaceTime might be the only way that the baby has been seen, or something like that. But okay, make it happen for yourself. Don't wait for her. That's what I hear. So, and I think that your mother might be healthier than she thinks she is. That is something that I'm hearing. And I don't know if there's a preeclampsia sort of thing with your mom. I don't know if you can get that outside of pregnancy, but there's it's something like that that has to do with the traveling part of things. So okie dokie. She might have more time than she thinks she does. I'm going to put it that way. Okie dokie. We do hear that a lot. Okie dokie. Okay, so I hope, yes, a message dad has passed. Okay, I honestly, Linda, when I read, yes, a message dad has passed, I see a football. or what I think is football, could be a rugby ball, same sort of, but it's like he's throwing you the ball. You catch the ball. I know. And it could be that ball's in your court. Now it's your ball. Now you take over. He's gone. You're in charge. That sort of thing. He says that's a little bit closer to it. A little bit closer to it. That's a little bit closer. Is what I'm supposed to do. Like he's on one side of the valley and you're on the other. Okie dokie. And yeah, Linda, you might want to, change up the energy. Maybe actually what they're showing is I plant strategically. I have hellebores in certain places because hellebores absorb negative energies. I have foxglove and digitalis because they help people on the other side. I have bleeding hearts, same thing. So you might want to have some energy clearing plants around because I kind of think it's where you are, to be perfectly honest. Not that it's a bad place where you are, but it might have a lot of energy and you're an energy person. So you're attracting things to you. Like I could see you if you were covered in woods, that you could see things in the woods and go, what the? Like that you're attracting things to you. You're welcome, Joan. Diabetic nerve pain. Okie dokie. Well, okay. Oh, diabetic nerve pain. So that's blood, Corrine. Blood. So yeah, and I'm not even remembering entirely what we said to you, but yeah, move it through, because I kind of, I'm not going to say it's entirely psychic because the corporeal form is taking it, but think about where that is, your power chakra and the tree that it moves up, they say, because they think it might go up into your back like a tree. Okie dokie. Lindsay, okay. I am so sorry. I reread in my head, any words for me, I got try harder. I know, mean. What the heck do they mean by that? Try harder. Try a little bit harder. Are you trying to communicate with someone and not sure that you're getting through to them? It might be, and I don't think it's try harder because when we try to communicate with someone or move psychic energy, the more we push, the more we'll, you have to relax. That's why meditation is such a great form for moving your psychic energy, because when you meditate, you release, you relax, you let everything kind of happen the way it's meant to and create that super highway from your butt to your crown so that your psychic energy can go up. I kind of think it's something like that, but it's real world as well. They tell me try harder. And you might not be doing things to, I'm not going to say to the best of your abilities, even though that's what I hear in my head, because I'd like to say it a little bit nicer than that. But yeah, you might not be living up to what you can do. Let me put it that way. Living up to what you can do. There might be a little bit more. And Lindsay, I think I might owe you. Pretty sure I do. Okie dokie. Cassandra. Without her. Okay, when I read any messages from my mama, been feeling lonely without her here with us, I hear immediately that's not true. It's not that it's not true that you're feeling lonely. It's that it's not true she's not here with you. I think she is here with you, and I think you know it. And I think you can feel it, and it's making you remember that she's not alive anymore, but I believe she is still there with you. They want you to, they're showing, you won't know this probably because I think you're much younger than me. There's an episode of MASH where Klinger has a near-death experience and he is walking around pretty much like in spirit, and he's talking to people and he can't figure out why no one's talking back to him. That's what I see with your mom. Like she's there, she knows you can feel her, she's trying to communicate with you and you're not talking to her. And she shows it to me like that frustration, because I kind of think you're forgetting yourself maybe a little bit, because my crossed over loved ones will say to me, my dad especially will say to me, remember who you are. Because when I second guess things or when I worry about things or when I do this, they say, remember who you are. I kind of think I'm supposed to say that to you. Remember who you are and that the information can flow through you. Okie dokie. My goodness. Okie dokie. This is going to sound so cheeky, better than it was before. And then that's what your doctor would say. But they're telling me that, yeah, this is a good idea because it feels proactive for him. And after, okay, and then he's going to have to take some responsibility. So I don't know if after the surgery he has a whole bunch of work to do. What I am seeing is my beloved aunt, after her first breast cancer surgery, she went on a regimen and was very, she had fresh squeezed orange juice, vitamin, like all these things that she was doing that were all part of her keeping that momentum going of a healthy change for herself. That's what I'm seeing. That he actually might want to, is it digestive? Is it Crohn's or something? Because I don't want to tell your husband to cut out red meat, but as a vegetarian, I could. But he might kind of look at bloody meats and what they do. I don't know that he digests them the same way. They might, when we don't digest things the same way, it's not just a digestive bowel stomachy sort of thing. It goes through the cells of your body and stuff. When your body doesn't know what to do, it figures it out, and maybe not in a way that you need it to. So there's something like that. There's some sort of dietary. Maybe it's that he eats more red meat, but I'm a little prejudiced vegetarian. So, okay, I hope that helps. Okay. Julie, okay, woo! Okay. Okie dokie. So, Blue Lagoon, I am going to make you my last person. And I hope you're still on, but I'm going to make you my last person. So everyone who is already there, I'm going to try to answer your questions. It's 1:36 and I can feel the head cold. So I'm going to power through and yeah. So So Blue Lagoon, you're last. Okie dokie. So back into where we were. Carrie K, Jessica, Kelly. Wow, we got a lot of folks here today. This is awesome. Okay, yeah, okay. Julie, any messages from my nanny? We were very close and I miss her every day. I've been seeing some signs and wondering if they're from her. Yeah, they actually also, I don't know if your nanny is new on the other side, because when you asked if they were from her, she showed me I see Wonder Woman's lasso around people. It looks like that's what I refer to it as a golden string that goes around the waist of the newly passed over and leads to someone who's been passed over a little bit longer, so that they can lend some power and some energy, because the longer we're over there, the stronger we get. So having said that, when the messages might seem muddy, and they might be like, would nanny do that? Or that's kind of nanny-ish, but there's something else I feel on it, so I'm not quite sure if it's nanny. I actually think that's what you're feeling. You're feeling the other person as well. And is that her husband? Is that grandpa? Or like grandpa? So because they're lending her the energy, but she's the one communicating with you. And she's showing me my nanny. That's what I call my mom's mom. She comes to me in my nose. I smell her. And that's how I know it's her. I can smell perfumey smells and lady kind of smells, because my nanny was an Avon lady. So you might be able to smell something. And sometimes actually, because I know with my nanny, I am connected to her. I love her, all those sorts of things. She loves me too. But she only comes when my mother's around. And because she wants me to communicate that thing to her. So there's a purpose behind the communication. You're a nanny. It's you. You. She's tried to come in your dreams. You don't always turn around. And she says you're chasing me. So you might be having the chasing dreams. I had the chasing dreams with my dad for the longest time, and it was more him than it was me. But I guess it was a combo of the two. But when they haven't quite figured out how to entirely communicate with you, that's the way it can be. It can be so that it's a little bit more difficult to figure out whether or not it's them. So you acknowledging that she is doing the communicating will actually lend her strength and make her communication stronger for you. So I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Will my future get brighter? Is my dad around? Okie dokie. Yes, and always. Those are the two things that I'm supposed to say to you. Will your future get brighter? Believe it to be true, is what I'm supposed to tell you. Accept nothing less. And you might actually want to shield yourself from the energy of others. It might be, and it could be in your work or who you are put around in your work, that their energy actually might be permeating a little into you and making you feel like less things are possible. They want you to believe that anything is possible for you. And it's not so much where you are, what you do, who you have around you, it's how you feel inside. It's 100% how you feel inside. And I'm supposed to say, hi, granddad, to you. And because that little human being goes with your dad every now and again and is with your dad every now and again. And you're to tell your wife that if she sends him one more animal, he doesn't know what he's going to do. That's actually what I heard. Because it's like a farm. That's what he says. He actually says it's like a farm down there, is what he says. Okie dokie. Look to the sky. That is something I'm supposed to tell you. Look up. And it's not okie dokie. Okay. And try a little harder to feel better about yourself. It is something they want you to do. And that they actually even show, I actually think for a week, next week, they want you to tell yourself 3 things that are wonderful about you. 3 things that you bring that are great. And you can do them quietly. It's kind of like the I love you therapy that I had to go through. My spirit guys, my life was toileting because I didn't like myself very much. So I received the information that every time I saw myself, I had to say, I love you. And I'm a yoga teacher who works around mirrors. And yeah, I saw myself a lot. I had to say, I love you every time I saw myself. And boy, did it ever make a difference. It really, really, really made a difference because after a first few I love yous, I started to really mean it. So I think you need to tell yourself you love yourself, but you need to tell yourself 3 wonderful things about you because there are 3 wonderful things about you each and every day. And maybe make them a little bit different each and every day too, so that you have 21 great things about you. Okie dokie. Yeah, that's 7 days. That's a week. Okay. I hope that helps, Dennis. Okay. Okay, Kelly. Kelly is new. Welcome to the Orkellian world, Kelly. Okie dokie. That's very, very strange looking. I saw something very strange looking. I don't even know if I can say that. But you might want to let go of where you've been. Okay, I'll tell you what they showed me because they're still showing it to me. They're showing you peeling off a layer from your foot and eating it. Yeah, isn't that gross? I kind of think what they're trying to say is take where you've been, what you've done, and take control of it. Eat it up. Let it go. I know that sounds weird. That sounds counter. Eat it up. Let it go. But you're consuming it. If I were to, well, that wouldn't happen. My stomach acid will break down things if I eat them. It'll take them into little bits. My body will do with it what it needs to do so it can become waste. So it can be gone. I kind of think that's where we're going with that idea. I know that sounds really strange and silly, but it's what they want me to say to you. That's the other thing that I'm supposed to say. It's what they want me to say to you. There's something about a vehicle too, like a car. I don't know if you're watching this from a car, but it might. I refer to bodies as vehicles. Oh, that's really strange. You're going body thing twice, but that doesn't feel entirely right. I kind of think that what they're trying to say is you let go of where you've been, and then you can get to where you need to go, because yeah, you need to release you. That's what they say. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Looking for messages from my grandparents who died in a car accident many years ago. He was a musician, might speak through music, numbers, and dimes too. Oh, you know he does. That's what I said. That's what I hear. I don't know if they pass it around Halloween. And I've seen Halloween or harvest time, like scarecrows, things like that. So I don't entirely understand that, but I see it, so I gotta say it. Um, they're great. How about you? That's one thing I hear. Everything's all right now. It was smash and grab. So I hope what that actually means is that when they crossed over in the car accident, it was like bang, and that was that. Because it's your grandmother, I think, that says smash and grab, and she makes it look like and then grab, and we're okay. Is this your mother's parents? Because I hear mom. Uh, Okie dokie. Your grandfather sings to you. He sings in your ears all the time, but you don't always know the tune he's in. But that's strange. Did he sing old songs? Did he sing a special type of music? Cause yeah, cause it. I don't know. Celtic is a word I gotten. I don't know. They also. Okie dokie. That might be something you hear in your head. And it's almost like they're likening it to back in the olden days when you used to change the radio in your car with your hand, not seek that between the radio stations. That's what the is. It's the between the radio stations. So when you hear that, okie dokie, it might be a veil pull through. When I was a little girl and they were coming, I would know only because I'd hear before. I would hear this sound. And to me, that was them grabbing me and going, Foop, and pulling me through the veil, like I was going past curtains. That's what it reminded me of. This is a similar kind of thing for you, I believe. I believe that it's the precursor. Hey, pay attention. Now we're going to put the song in your head. So please pay attention to that sequence of events. And then, because he's not allowed to just communicate, she has to be part of it in some sort of way. So it goes, song, and then a feeling from grandma. They pay attention, they say, which is bossy, but they're your grandparents. Yes, my parents are dead. Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, I see people dancing on the other side. I see them having parties on the other side. I see them playing cards on the other side. It's pretty awesome. Okie dokie. Paige. Hello, Paige. How long after our loved ones pass does it take for them to completely cross over and be able to communicate? What an awesome question, Paige. Absolutely awesome. Honestly, it depends on the individual. I remember when I first started, I used to completely and absolutely believe you need at the very, very least 3 months. I used to absolutely believe that until a lady came to me whose 2-year-old had crossed over. And that little guy had only been 2 weeks and clear as a bell, clear as a bell. So, and I have had that since then. So it really depends on the individual. It's easier for people who already went over with faith. They go whoop, immediately to a place where they can somewhat learn about the communications of things, because having faith is one of the first hurdles we actually have to go through, knowing that that there is something bigger than us. There's something more. So, okay. Oh, yeah, it does. It completely and absolutely depends on the individual. And the clarity can depend on the individual and who's around them as well. We can have the lasso, like I spoke of earlier, that is a help from somebody who's been over there longer, who can help a person who's new communicate. We can also have people who are of faith who immediately have a little bit better communication. I'm also seeing, because they show me showing the ropes, which is a theater term, but they will show me that to say, okay, there's people on the other side who are showing me how this is done. and what we do. And I know when my aunt went over there, I actually even saw it in my head. It was like she went right up to the powers that be and say, okay, how does this place work? Let me know, because I got stuff to do. I got people to talk to. So it really, really depends on the individual. You can make it easier for them too, though. You can give them little things they can do to let you know it's them. Just very, very easy peasy lemon squeezy sort of things. Not throw this chapstick across the room. It might happen. I'm not going to say it's not gonna, but it's more likely to move a quarter of an inch to the right than it is to be thrown across the room. That takes me to the movie Ghost and how he had to learn how to move stuff. Somewhat valid, maybe somewhat valid, but yeah. Okie dokie. So thank you very much, Paige. What a great question. Okay, Jenny Dawn. I am in a big transition, feeling a move to be with family. Any message about where move would be most enlivening for me? Excellent. Possibly Alberta or back to the island. Also, how do you send stars? I don't know. I wish I knew how to send stars. I think it's actually at the top thing where you like and share and things like that, I think. Okie dokie. So the big transition to, energy. If you move to the island or back to the island, they say that's a smart thing to do. It's actually what they say. I'm a little prejudiced on that one because I live on the island and I think it's, I think it's awesome. I love Vancouver Island, but it doesn't mean that that everybody's thing is Vancouver Island. When I see you in Alberta, it looks mountainous. It looks like the Rockies. It looks very beautiful in that way. So they show that you could be into you could do either one, and which one is better for you. Right now is actually the main question. Family first. That's what they say. So I'm not sure where your family is, but family first. And you might actually, because the way they're showing it, I don't know your age or where you're at in your life, but they're putting that example of when you're having kids. And when you're having kids, having family around you is, I would assume, because I had a little bit of family around me when I had kids. No. At one point, I actually moved on the same street as family, and thank God I did, because it takes a village. So there's something like that with it. And you are absolutely correct. You're in a huge transition right now. They want you to take care of you and give yourself extra love, extra attention, and extra coddling or comforting right now, because it's all about you. That's what I'm supposed to say. It's all about you. Yeah. Yeah. Are you in that pregnancy part of life? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, because it feels like that. But pregnancy is actually usually shown to me as a big idea. So you might have a great big idea, and that's going to change things for you. Okie dokie. Okay. Hello, Karen. How are you? Welcome for your first time, and I'll get to your question. Okie dokie. Okay. Golly sakes, they just put a sombrero on your head. I don't know the significance of the sombrero. The only thing I can think of with the significance of a sombrero is to keep the sun off your head and protect you a little bit. It will protect you from the rain, protect you from the sun, protect you from a few things. Is that what you guys mean? Or is it actually just party? Because sombreros made me think of, yay! Not that I've ever been to Mexico or anything, or even owned a sombrero, but because the reason I say the party thing is because they're showing the ones that have things hanging off of them. Yeah, and I do not know the significance of those hats. And there might actually even be a cultural significance for you that I don't get because I don't know you and I can't see you. They also tell me to tell you, follow your heart. That's something you're supposed to do, apparently. And they throw your heart out of your chest when they say that to me, like a cartoon character where when their heart beats out of their chests like that, it's like your heart is leading you and they want you to follow your heart's desire. That's what they say. And if you do not know what your heart's desire is, think about life without a certain thing. I know, what a silly, weird way of putting it, but you might know what that means. And it seems a little ambiguous to me. But I'm supposed to tell you, you're the orchestrator of your own destiny. You're in charge here. Uh, not somebody, yeah, not somebody else. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure exactly what that means, but I hope it makes sense to you. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Hello. Ah. Okie dokie. Now I see your next message, Karen. Okay, we'll go. Okay, actually, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. No, I'm not gonna tease Kelly. Okay, I'm new here, and I would love a message, please. Kelly Bailey. Did we talk? Yes, we did. Okie dokie. Yeah, we doubled up. Okay, groovy. Thank you, Kelly. Okie dokie. Karen. I lost my soulmate 2 weeks ago. He was the light of my life. He was home. I'm lost and I have become stagnant. I don't know which way to go or where to start. So just get through the day, but not making any movements towards any ideas on how to get out of this. Okie dokie. That's why he showed your heart beating out of your chest. Love, your love is out there. That's what it is. And when he says follow your heart, what do you know? Okie dokie. So your soulmate, that was an untimely passing and unexpected, I think, possibly a little bit odd for a person their age or something. I'm not entirely sure what he means by that. But your heart is out there. It's not inside in you. That's really strange, but it's so green. Like it's so green. It's so green. So the love that you're feeling, I actually think is pumping out of your chest a little bit. What do you want her to do? Okay. The first thing when I said, what do you want her to do? I heard you allow herself to heal. Um, do you have survivor guilt? That you should be there with him or that you yeah, there's something like that in some sort of way. And I'm supposed to tell you, and he tells me this is gonna piss you off, but you are gonna love again. And oh, geez, I don't think we only have one soulmate. I think we have the people that we're supposed to be with at that moment in that time where we are, and that's a soul that we know. And then if we move together, that's smashing. If not, it's something you need to move through. And he wants me to tell you that because you are stagnant and you are putting out the love, but not allowing yourself to feel the love. That's the cartoon character thing. So yeah, allow the love to come back to you. And um I'm sorry, but the sadder you are, the sadder he will be. He needs you to be somewhat okay with it for him. If he was in prison, and I know that sounds like that is not an equal. The other side is nothing like prison, as far as I've never been to prison, but it doesn't look nice. And the other side's nice. But if he was in prison, you would try to figure out a way to make it easier for him. That's the way he's putting it. So he knows better than I do. I think what he's trying to say there is that if you can make his time on the other side easier, and you can make it easier for you on this side with that power. It's that power, actually. He's showing it like what you need to feel is that you are helping him on the other side, and then that will help you here because that is actually a power that you have, and you need to feel powerful, not victimized, and like things are just happening to you rather than you're making them happen. I hope that makes sense. But it's really important to him that you feel better, like really really important to him that you feel better, Karen. It really is. And if you were here, I swear he would make me hug you and grab you by your beautiful little face and tell you that it's going to be okay. I'm sorry. Oh, also, he wants you to know that when you get to the other side, pick up where you left off, no matter what happens from here to then, because he was first. And that's what he says. He was first. Okay. And you got a lot of love to give, so you got a lot of love to share. Ooh. Oh, okie dokie. Okay, Jessica. I'd love to know if Perry is coming through for me. Okie dokie. Yeah. I don't know if Perry knew about Phineas and Ferb. but I do. And it's in my brain. And I heard Perry the platypus in my head. I heard that immediately. I don't know if that's entirely just a me thing, and that's why that popped in my head, or if he is saying that and it's a funny little funny between the two of you. Um, Perry is better than they were before. Perry is learning the ropes and learning how to communicate with you. Would you please communicate back with them? There's something about writing things down. I don't know if you're an automatic writer, Jessica. An automatic writer is a person who receives. It's like when I write the books into here, it is like I'm automatic writing because I don't write my books alone. I don't write my books alone. That's why I think they're good, because you need to be able to sometimes get stuff outside of you to get more information or to let the information flow. It's kind of like the way I'm saying, okay, I have to say this to you because it's the first thing I see, because I need to say the things that I see so I can get the new information and get that stuff out of the way. It's a similar sort of thing with the communication that's coming into you in that way. It might actually be backing up because you might not be pulling it out and seeing it for what it is. And bringing it outside of you might actually allow you to. If it's not writing, it might be a craft or painting or some other sort of expression. But because also too, sometimes we can be too close. And that's what he's showing as well. When a member of my family wants me to read them, I always use cards because I need that little thing that is outside of me because I know too much about my family and I don't want my opinion coloring a communication that I'm supposed to bring through. Okay, and it's a privacy thing too. All right, thank you. Okay. I am interested to know if my guides have a specific message for me today. Oh, Tammy. Okay. Oh. Now, the first thing I see when they show me if your guides, they immediately showed you as an energy being, which doesn't surprise me at all because you are an energy being, meaning that you are an energy that has been scooped into a corporeal form so that you can walk it around here on the planet. They see you as the energy being, not just the corporeal form, because they knew you before you were born. I'm supposed to tell that to you, that your guides have always been with you and they know you well and they know you better than anyone else. And they know you better than anyone else you've ever met. I'm supposed to say it to you. I wonder too if you feel like nobody knows you, if you feel as though nobody can really see who you are or what is inside of you, something like that, because they're trying to show an understanding of you within you, which I would say all guides would do, and that's a little bit general in my opinion. But at the same time, I don't know that it entirely is general for you. And okay, use your voice. And I don't know if that means sing. I don't know if that means tell more people stuff or if that means what you feel going on inside of you, allow others to know about it or share it in some sort of way. They put it in a conjunction with when I was told to start my YouTube channel, because I was told to start my YouTube channel by my spirit guides. They said, get loud. And that is your spirit guides are showing me get loud and use your voice. Like it's a similar sort of thing. So there might be something that you can do that you need to share, that you need to explore, that you need to help other people with. You look to me like an energy worker, very, very much like an energy worker. You look to me like the type of person who does Reiki or healing touch, which doesn't mean you are. You could be a nurse. But you also you could be a lot of different things of a person who helps other folks, but there's a little more about you that you might not be tapping into. Ego gets in the way. That's what I'm supposed to say. When I say ego, I don't mean because ego, I see ego and arrogance as two different things. When I see ego within a person, it is a no, not me. That's what I see. Ego to me is if I'm using my ego, I'm telling my guides, I'm not listening to what you say. I think it's this. That's my ego. I don't think I'm getting the information. I don't think I am capable. That's ego. So your ego might be telling you that you're not quite as high on the shelf as you are, or that what you think you might be able to do is actually something you can do, but it might seem like it's impossible because what I can do, a lot of people would say is impossible. I even know people personally who don't think I can do it. I know. So, uh, they want you to explore your energy being. That's how I'm supposed to put it. Okie dokie. Okay. Okay. Is Penny ever going to get out hospital soon? Um, okay. The short and that yes, indeed she is. But it's up to her. They actually show that, yeah. Yeah. I'm not sick. I am well. And is there a breathing thing going on? There's something about breathing and the respiratory system. There's something about that. Everything has to be conducive too. Yeah, she's calm down. That's what they say. Take stock, relax a little bit. Um, and I think you're right. I don't know, this is going to sound funny. I don't know if the hospital is the best place for her because hospitals have yucky energy. They have very fearful energy, yucky energy. I don't like going in them myself. So, yeah, and I hope she absolutely does. But kiss her right here and tell her that's something she can do. Heal your body, heal your mind. Okay. Thank you, Verna. Awesome. Thank you, Amber. Okie dokie. Oh, it's been a long time wondering if John is still around. Okay, so honestly, sorry, Susan, I don't remember because I don't remember things. Because I just don't. Because it's like I'm drunk. I hear, of course, he still is, and I think John also may have ascended a little bit because he's showing me my grandmother. My grandmother used to. Okay, when I was a little girl, I actually thought everybody's dead grandmother sat at the end of her bed and talked to her while she went to sleep. I actually thought that till I told some friends, and I got made fun of big time. So I stopped telling people things, well, friends. But my grandmother used to sit in the rocking chair in my room, or she would sit at the end of my bed and chat with me. Now, my grandmother is, for a while, I thought, where'd she go? Where's she gone? Oh my gosh. And then, boom, she's huge. She's so much. I don't even get her in the corporeal form as much. She's an energy. She has so much. But that is also a woman who spoke through me to my parents. She's the reason. So John, I think, is a similar sort of thing. I think he's expanded and I think he's grown. And he says, thanks to you. I think you've helped him quite a bit in his expansion and his growth and your belief in him communicating with you. It makes him stronger. So, mwah! And he says, hats off to you. Is John your son? Because I wonder, because I hear I love you, Mom. So yes, excuse me, but he's bigger and he's more, and he might come a little bit more, woo, in a less of a, oh, that's you, and more of a, oh, that's you. Gosh, I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Hi, Carrie. Hi, fellow beautiful lady. Okie dokie. Deanna, wonder if you have any messages for me from my dad or other passed on loved ones. Been feeling someone around lately. Okay, that's so funny because when you say I've been feeling someone around lately, I hear it's me. But it might be the newest person on the other side. I don't know if you have a female friend on the other side or a female contemporary of some sort. Could even be your child's mother-in-law, something like that. But they're around you a lot because you attract the energy because you've made it so that it makes sense to you. And I'm seeing your house like my house. And my house, I have crystals and things and stuff. And I try to make it easy for the energy to flow through and for negative energy to leave and positive energy to come in. So you actually may have a house like that because that is what they're showing me. And there may also be some communication that's happening around where you put your keys and your stuff when you come in, because they're showing me the credenza that is by my front door, that the keys and the stuff and the things are all right there. So there might be something with that, because I am seeing that part of your house as well. Okie dokie. Now, when it comes to your father, okie dokie. Do you have any pictures up of him? Is he displayed prominently in your home? And if not, why not? And if so, how? That's funny. Your dad is showing you putting a picture of him in every room. Every room. Like, I'm seeing you put a picture of him in the bathroom. And it's almost like a joke, like, hi, dad. Hi, dad. Hi, dad. And it could even be that what your dad is trying to actually tell me is that he's in every room. And then when you feel him in the room, please say hi to him. I say hi to my crossed over loved ones all the time when I think possibly they're communicating with me, because if I'm incorrect, what have I done? I've said hi to the air. If I am correct, then I have acknowledged all the work they've done to try to communicate with me, and I will make their communication stronger. So that is what I'm supposed to say to you, young lady. Sorry, that's how I'm supposed to say it too. Okie dokie. Hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. I would love to know if Spirit has any messages about my chronic migraines. Okay. The first thing I heard, actually, Jessica, is it's in your neck. There might be a tightening or a lack of communication coming from your neck. They tell me it's a bit of a physical thing, but they also want me to pay attention to the fact that at the base of the skull is where your Kundalini energy of your crown chakra and your third eye chakra meet. It's a little bit even more crown chakra here. Okie dokie. They also are showing me I have twice received migraines. I don't even like to say the word because they're so horrific, during readings. One time it was because the person I was reading, well, they were about to die of a brain tumor. And I don't know if they did that so I couldn't tell her that she was about to cross over, or if they were actually trying to give me what was happening in her head. But she blew my head up. And she crossed over about a week later. But the other time was when I was bringing forth a child for a mom, and the child wanted dad there too. And he said he wasn't going to talk until dad was there too. I knew both parents very well personally. So yeah, he put me on my butt. Yeah. And I knew that child before he crossed over. So it's easy for him to mess with me. So those are the two times I've received migraines during readings. I get ocular ones, but I was supposed to tell you about those two times, because those two times, each time that migraine was to stop me on what I was doing so that I could either do it a different way. Yeah, so I could do it a different way. So there, you might want to look at when they happen, why they happen. Oh my God, that's strange. I've never even think about a migraine having an emotional component because they're so glandular. But there might be an emotional component. You might want to track what happens. And then the next thing they're showing me is my sister suffered from them when we were in high school. I started after my third child. But my dad used to get her an oxygen tank, and she would actually sniff oxygen. So they're showing me that because that might be a bit of a solution for you. I don't know if you can get an oxygen tank. My father worked for a welding company, so we had access. So there's something like that. So I hope that helps, Jessica. Okie dokie. Slack art. Okie dokie. Okay. Any messages from my grandmother, Ross? Okay, Carrie. Okie dokie. She's organizing things for you. she's organizing things in a bit of a different way, almost like they're and in fact, actually, it's your crystals that I'm seeing her organize. And I'm very much seeing Sasquatch. Very much seeing those crystals. Very, very much seeing those crystals. And I'm seeing her, she's putting things in lines, 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 lines. It could, yeah. It might be that you might want to organize things in energy, and it points towards the front. It points out the window in some sort of way. And I kind of think it's an attraction thing to attract more to you in some sort of way, because she's she's also indicating my yard. And my yard, I haven't the way that I have planted things and the way I've put things and things like and such, it's so that the energy when you walk in, you can feel it. And then as you leave, you don't take extra stuff with you and you are blessed as you go, that sort of thing. So there's something like that that they want you to create. And part of it is for my clients, and part of it is for me and the people who live in this home. And part of it is even for my neighbors, because I know I affect them too. There's something like that she wants you to do. And she says, it is me. You might even be moving them. It might even be as simple as that, but because she's trying to start this. But yeah, and it reminds me, I know this is going to sound odd, but maybe it'll make sense. It reminds me of Nanny Mary. No, in Hook, it's Nana Wendy. Of course, because it's Wendy. It's Wendy as an adult when the one with Robin Williams, when Maggie Smith is playing Wendy as an old woman, and she's trying to tell Peter about the magic, who he actually is, because he is Peter Pan. He doesn't know who he is, but she knows who he is. It's like that. You might not know who you are, but Grandma Ross knows who you are because she sees you. And she might have been where you are, and you are more of a hyper version of her. Gosh, I hope that makes sense. Meditate, 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 meditate. Did I say it 7 times? I'm not sure, but I was supposed to say it 7. I didn't even count. Okay. So I hope that makes sense to you. Okay. Now, John, when I read your question, the first thing I hear is, do you really want her to? And I think that it's a resounding yes for you. I believe it is. But okie dokie, they want you to create the energy that will invite her back in, but at the same time, create the energy that is best for you. And I completely and absolutely understand that. If you want to attract somebody back to you or anything like that, you need to see yourself as the thing that will attract them. You need to love yourself in a way that they're like, oh, what is that wonderful smell? It needs to be like that. You need to know you're worthy. There needs to not be any desperation. Apparently, I don't know if there is any desperation, but I'm supposed to tell you you're a wonderful man, and that is what you need to attract to you. More people who reiterate that back to you, how wonderful you are. They're actually even showing me how there's a Seinfeld episode. My God, there's a lot of pop culture in there right now. There's a Seinfeld episode where Seinfeld is told by Babu Bhatt that he is a bad man. And Jerry says, could my mother be wrong? That's what I'm seeing with you. Like, I don't know if your mother absolutely adores you. I hope your mother absolutely adores you. They want you to go into that kind of energy, that mother adoring energy. There's nothing my kids can do incorrectly. I just think they're the most amazing creatures on the planet. Doesn't even matter what they do. And yeah, I've cleaned their poop. Sorry, that was a bit much. But so it's that same sort of idea that no matter what, you're amazing and you deserve that, John. And they want you to absolutely ask for that for you. And if that means she comes back to you, then smashing, she's a lucky woman. If that means you attract actually someone different to you, then she's a lucky woman too. That's what I'm supposed to say to you. Yeah. And I'm not supposed to say to you, it's not you, it's her. But because I don't know that you believe that to be true. but I kind of hear it. So, oh, that makes sense to you. Hi, Mary Lynn. Any messages from Fran? Okie dokie. Ah, okie dokie. There's something about balance, about equality, about I don't know if you guys had to sell her stuff or sell her place or something like that, but there's that kind of energy on things. There's also okay, I'm supposed to tell you you did a great job, and I'm supposed to thank you, and that you rose to the occasion. And I know you so very well that what she's showing me is if I know you like I know you, you organized people, you got things going, you helped people through, you made sure everyone was fed, you made sure things were on time, you did you. And I think she's really thanking you for being you. And you are also a kick ass and take names kind of lady who defends people who need to be defended. And you might be helping that husband of yours through, very much helping that husband of yours through, because this may have broken a little something just below his belly. And you're doing a great job. She wants you to know that. It won't be long now, is what she says. I believe she kind of is referring to that moment when the acceptance comes and the grief moves into, okay, I can talk about this person, I can look at their pictures, I can laugh, I can have a good time about it. Because we do kind of get to walls within grief. So there's something like that. And I kind of think that she's referring to your hubby on that one because I think she is, because she's showing me him. So I hope that makes sense. And do you have a little dog? Do you have a dog that barks at nothing? Because the dog might be barking when she visits. And I don't think she's alone. Is that her husband with her? Because there's a man with her. Mhm. Okie dokie. All right. So I all the first names are Josh's. Okay. Thank you, Mary Lynn. Okie dokie. All the first names are Josh's. Okay, so it might be Jay. Okay, and J. Okay. Okay. Amber. Okay. We're almost there, friends. Okie dokie. Okay. Amber. And if you popped on and you weren't on before and you don't know, I am actually I'm almost burnt to a crisp here. And I am going to be ending with Blue Lagoon. So if you have asked me a question after Blue Lagoon, I apologize if that I did not get to you. But I'll be back. And this is what happens when I take so long to come and see you guys again. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Sorry, I'm reading people's responses and I apologize. Okay. Hi, Bobbi. Does my grandma have any advice for my mom in the next phase of her life? Go for it. That's what she says. She's also showing me, um, it's very strange. She's showing me Debbie Reynolds, which it could be because when Carrie Fisher passed away, Debbie Reynolds passed 2 days later because she loved her daughter so much she couldn't live without her in this world. You can hear it. It's starting. But I think she's showing me that there's two things that could be the Debbie Reynolds thing. There is her connection to Carrie Fisher, her daughter, and their passings subsequently with each other. And then there is the time I saw Debbie Reynolds on The View. And they said to Debbie Reynolds, is there anything you would wish you had known in your 20s that you know now that you are in your, I think, 70s at the time? And she said, yes, that I had a clitoris. That's actually what she said. And I'm sorry if I've offended you or anyone else who's watching, but that's the moment that I'm seeing from your grandmother to your mother. So I kind of think what your grandmother is saying to your mother is it ain't over yet. And you have a new lease on life. And because that discovery for a woman is a discovery of an ability to give yourself what you need. Oh my gosh. that it's all in within you. That is what I believe she is saying. Like it was there all along. You just had to discover it about you. And I kind of think that if you tell your mother that story, she might be greatly offended. But her mother showed that to me. So she might not be. She might go, yeah, it's a part for the course of mom. Or it could be her way of getting her point across through crazy brain here. So yeah, that's grab the brass ring. But it's a little more. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense, Amber. Oh my goodness. So it's starting. I'm getting very stuffed up. Yeah. Okay. They just said it won't be long now. So Billy, Billy, love your name. It was my father's name. Kind of wish he had given it to me too. He gave me Bobbi instead. So yeah. Anyway, okie dokie. Billy, Billy needs to get reorganized. That is actually what I hear. There's something about responsibility. And it could even be that if you get, yeah. Uh, are you paying attention to everything? Because with the responsibility thing, for me, I have been given the message this year to become more responsible and take more responsibility. And for myself, I believe it's because I actually was letting myself get into a little bit of a victimization zone. Like, this is happening to me. This is happening to me. This is happening to me, rather than I am allowing this energy to be part of my life, which is actually what I was doing. So now I have to take responsibility for that and not say this is happening to me. I have to look at it and say, what am I doing that is allowing this to happen? I kind of think that's what I'm supposed to say to you. What is it in my life? What am I not giving to myself or taking responsibility for? Or if I could just change the wording or change the way I'm looking at it, how could I actually even change the trajectory of this? Because okie dokie, they show it in a very, very, very simple way. It's like when you're in the car and you don't want to be late. And yeah, I get very, very, very frustrated. Don't want to be late. Don't want to be late. You get that energy, and then everything gets in your way and makes you late. You hit every light. You hit this. You do that. You believe it, because you're saying, I don't want to be late. The universe doesn't run on negatives. It runs on positives. The universe is hearing is, I want to be late. I want to be late. So they are putting everything in what you are asking for. So you might need to change the way you're looking at things or the way you're wording things so that you can actually make it best for you. And I hope that makes sense, because that's actually a lesson I'm learning right now. So you relearn it, Every time I think I know something, they said, yo, you know. Okie dokie. Lynn would like to know, first time here, wondering what the next few months have in store for me. Okie dokie. Now, the next few months is not long enough. They actually even say the next 6 months to 1 year. Okie dokie, that's interesting. Have you made a big change in your life? Because what they're showing, and I think this is why they're showing the 6 months part of things, because it takes 6 months physiologically for your body to change. So if you're a smoker and you quit smoking, it'll take 6 months for your body to get out of that addiction mode or to move into you're a non-smoker, because it takes your body just a little more time to figure it out. There's something like that going on with you, Lynn. They want you to be patient with yourself. They want you to show yourself love. They want you to treat spring like spring is, like it is the preparation for something, like you are, okie dokie. I don't know how old you are, but I was born in the 70s. And as a female, I was told that I had to get my summer body back in the spring. I had to lose weight. I had to prepare for being more exposed with my body, which thank God we don't do that to girls anymore. Good Lord. Anywho, so they're showing me a similar sort of thing with you. Like we're preparing for when we're out there a little bit more. These next few months are a preparation time for you. Get yourself ready, because I kind of think if you're working towards something, it's coming to fruition. I don't know that it's going to be a surprise. I think it's something you expect to have happen and you're building towards, and it is coming, but be patient with yourself, because you have to be ready for it just like they do. Hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Ah, Aoife. Aoife. Okay, that makes so much sense. Ah, my full first name is 10 letters. Ah, your birthday is like in 2 weeks and you went to school. I thought about social work. Ah, you're very, very welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Awesome. Thank you, Aoife. Okay. Not fight. No, 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 not fight. Sorry. No, no, no. I apologize. No, 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 not fight. No, and in fact, actually, everybody's on your side now because things have come to terms. Things have cracked open and gone into a balanced kind of way. And I think you know what I mean by everyone, in particular, a particular one. Yeah, on your side because we want what's best for him. We want what's best for you. And it's about time the two of you were happy. Okie dokie. Ah, nerve pain. I think that is making me forget and a few other things. Okie dokie, goody. Okay, thank you very much, Brenda. Okay, Blue Lagoon, which is awesome. Hello. On love for you and for general, please. Okie dokie. On love particularly, you get what you give. That's what I say. So they say in a balanced fashion. So whatever is going on with you love wise, whatever you're putting out is what you're going to get back. But when I even say that, I know that there's a something with it, meaning that there actually might be not strings attached to your love, not like that, but there might be some emotional strings coming out of you that are attaching to the love that might have a little bit to do with precariousness or okay, they want me to use fear-based. Fear-based is a little severe, I think, in my opinion, but my opinion doesn't actually matter. So you actually might be giving love, but with the, oh, please love me back, rather than I'm going to give you love and that was that. Because what you give, you get. So the love you receive back might feel tentative as well, or precarious in some sort of way. So they want you to feel stronger in what you do. Because I actually, the heart chakra is the one chakra that changes color on us. When it's open, it's green and emerald. When it's closed, it's pink. So I'm seeing your heart chakra as pink rather than green. So it might be that you need to open yourself up a little bit more. And that actually might be a raw thing. Because when they show you opening yourself up a little bit more, I don't see skin on your chest anymore. I actually see your heart beating in front of me and your sternum and your rib cage. It opens everything up and it looks very raw. And what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like when something is if I had an open wound, I wouldn't want anything to get into it because it could easily get infected. What's the word I'm looking for? You know what? It's vulnerable. It's vulnerable. Sorry about that. There's a vulnerability that they want you to move into. So that because once you move into that vulnerability, then I see this beautiful glass go over top of it. And so you're open and there is love and I can see your chest and your heart, but it's protected like it's in a museum. I don't like that scenario. In the museum makes it seem like you're taking it and you're displaying it rather than giving it. So that's me, not you. Or that's me, not them. Sorry. Allow yourself to love foolishly. Oh, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say fully, but fully and foolishly. Just yeah, like a puppy dog would, rather than a cat would. I hope that makes sense. And in general, they say that okie dokie, for you, love is healing. That's the general. For you, love is healing, which is not very general, in my opinion. I think that's pretty darn specific. So I kind of think that you have to give it back to yourself, reheal everything, and then you can put it out, and then you will get back what you deserve. Because I'm supposed to tell you you're wonderful too. And I don't know that. I don't know you. I don't even know what your name is, for goodness sakes. They're telling me that. So that's coming from on high. So it's real and it's true. Okie dokie. It is. We have been on for 2.5 hours. My goodness gracious. Wow. My nose is all stuffy again. The head's cold's back. Thank you, everyone, for coming. That was marvelous. I had a lovely time. If I didn't get to you, I apologize profusely that I did not get to you. And I will be back and I will give you notice again, more notice than I did this time. Yeah, wouldn't it be great if I scheduled it and it was always on the same day? We could try that, but there are some days when I'm gonna come on and I'm done. I can't, because some days of readings are harder than others or require more than others. So this required a lot. I hope that each and every one of you has a wonderful evening tonight. I hope you do something smashing for yourself. And I hope that in some way, shape, or form, you make somebody else's day better as well. Thank you very much for coming. Namaste.